Good morning, everyone. This is Jackie with Paper Cuts, and I'm here today for Mixed Media Monday. I took one of my pages and I just gessoed it on the front side. I'm waiting for it to dry a little bit more, but I wanted to let you know what we're doing today. We're going to be doing a little bit of stenciling and collaging from a magazine page, and it's all going to be black and white. And so with that being said, hopefully it won't be quite disastrous as it was last Monday, but I think I prepped enough. I'm just trying to get you in frame here. I put a piece of cardboard behind it, as you can see. I probably should flip it over. And that just gives me a little more stability since it is a grocery bag book. And that way when I go to stencil, it will be a little stiffer. Then I have some black chalk paint, and this is just deco art. And then I have some white acrylic paint. It's a satin finish from Apple Barrel, outdoor multi-surface indoor type of paint. And I have, of course, a little piece of wax paper to put my paint on as we stencil. I have a sponge, a pair of scissors to cut out my lady, and we're going to be using this brick-like stencil here today. It's a little heavier, stiffer than previous stencils I've used, so hopefully it will go down really well. And then I have some, excuse me, stencil brush-like, I don't know, dauber things. I don't know how to explain them. I'll show you here as soon as I can locate them. I am not 100% sure what I did with them. I probably put them in my tools. I did. Okay. So I got these at Michael's. They were on clearance. But I think it will daub better than the regular sponge, but we'll see. So first I'm going to start with putting down my black chalk paint. And I'm going to go off the edge just a little bit. My lady's going to sit on the left here. So I shook up my chalk paint, and we're just going to put a little bit down here. So it's going to end up, I hope, I want to blend it into more of a gray tone. So I'm going to start in my upper left corner and just lightly dab with my sponge. And I am trying to do different techniques. However, I'm not overly brave yet. So I find that stenciling right now is challenging enough for me. But it, again, like I have always said, it's about the process, not necessarily the outcome. Because once you try different processes, then you'll find out what mediums work best for you and what utensils work best for you. And then you can eventually get better at it. So I'm just going across my page now. Just trying to get kind of like the brick-like look in here. And I'm going to do the whole background in the brick. And then we're going to lay the stencil back down, and we're going to take a little white. And then we're going to go over that and soften it, hopefully, a little so it becomes more of a gray tone. I chose a lady that's in an advertisement in the magazine, and I'll show you that as soon as we get done stenciling here so that you can see what she looks like. And I'm going to cut her out and decoupage her, I think, onto my background. And okay, so there's part of the brick. And now I'm just going to take it and lay it down again and go all the way to the end of my page. So I hope everybody's doing well, and things are starting to happen for you, whatever that may be. I have been interviewing finally for a position in Tennessee. Don't know, I'm on my third interview. Hopefully that'll get set up this week. And it's for a store down there. And yeah, so if I get the job, then of course it's going to be rush to get a moving truck and all of that to get out of state here and get all of the move planning done. I know that U-Hauls and moving companies and all of that are way overbooked because lots of people are leaving California. But I hope it all works out. And last week I was a little stressed about the whole thing because I haven't actually been on an interview, and gosh, my last job I didn't really have to interview for. They had been recruiting me for a couple of years. So now it's totally down. I'm just going to take the black that I have left on my palette over here, and I'm just going to kind of sponge it on the edge here, hoping that probably should add a little water to it, hoping that it doesn't get too thick. I just want to kind of smear it around. I put quite a bit of water on it, so I just don't want a solid white background over here when my lady goes down. So I'm just kind of blending it to the, well, splotching it and then moving it into the actual page like that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the lady. I'm going to cut her out, but she is going to be looking into the brick once we get that all softened up. So yeah, I was saying I haven't been on an interview for probably 15-20 years, because the last position I had, like I said, they were recruiting me to come on board. And then the job before, that's 11 years. And then the job before that, I worked for 8 years. So 10 years. So long story short, 10 and 11 is 21 years. So that is a long time to really not use those skills, because it's kind of nerve-wracking being in an interview, I guess, because you don't know what questions they're going to ask you, and then you have to be quick on your feet to think what you want to say to answer those questions. Okay, I'm going to take my stencil and I'm going to try to line it back up a little bit for this top half. You get it on there pretty good. And then I'm just going to take my acrylic paint and water that I mixed up over here, and just softly do the edges. I'm just trying to add some white to it. I was hoping I could get it kind of a grayish, but the chalk paint dries so quickly. But I just want to soften those bricks up a little bit. So I'm just dabbing my sponge and trying to drag it a little bit as I go. I don't know if you can see that, but so it just softens the look a little bit, so it's not like a hard brick look. And because the background is kind of dry, if I drag it, it makes it go a little grayer, and softens it up a little bit. I always have a problem where to put my stencil, so I'm just going to dab over this section a little bit and soften the edge along the brick where it comes into where I'm going to put my picture. So there's not a definite distinction. I'm gonna cut out my lady. And I am not really good at fussy cutting, but let's see how I do here. Probably gonna have to go over this again. Yes, I have my glasses on. But like I said, I'm not that good at the fussy cutting. So yeah, anyway, so that's been my week last week. I had 2 interviews. And yeah, a little more down here. So I hope to have my final interview this week. And then get an answer. I don't know, you know, I've been off of work now for 6 months. And part of me is like, oh, I got to go back to work. And the other part is just ecstatic, you know? It's kind of a catch-22 all the time. But, you know, you do what you got to do to get what you want. So I can't move without a job. So I still think I need to soften up the black a little bit. So I'm just going to take my white acrylic paint and go a little bit heavier handed. Kind of soften this up a little bit. And then there's some areas here in the brick that I want to I think that's pretty good. And then in the end, I'll put a black border around it when I'm done. And I'll probably do that off camera. A little more here. Alright, let's see how she looks. I think I got her cut out pretty good. Not 100% sure, but I think I want her. I'm going to leave just a little bit from the edge there. I'll move my hand out of the way. And then I have these words that say soft lady. So it's just a statement. So we're gonna go ahead and glue this down. And then I think I want to sponge the soft lady a little bit because it's a red and I'm not a big fan of red, but I think if I just dab it a little bit, it will soften that stark red. And then I'll take a black marker and we'll go around it. All right, so take a wet wipe, wipe my hands off, get my scraps out of the way, and then we're going to take a little Mod Podge, and I'll probably brush this on just because it makes it a little bit easier. So I can take my cardboard off now. And I'm just going to put a little Mod Podge. Ooh, not a little. That was like, ooh. I forget it comes out so quickly from this container. And, yeah. So, there we go. Took some off. Now, my Mod Podge, it is a glossy finish, so I don't know if at the end of this I'm gonna Let's move that out of the way. Ooh. If I'm going to gloss the whole thing, the whole page, or just her. So I'm just putting her down using what's on my brush, of course. We'll see how it dries. Because we may want to, yeah, probably Mod Podge the whole thing. It'll have a little sheen to it. But if I don't, it'll be matte and shiny, so. And then I'm going to do the same with the soft lady look, or words. Just putting a little on my paintbrush, and I'm going to use it to stick down. Okay, that didn't stick down. Let's try that again. I think I didn't get enough on the back of this first one. We're going to put it back where it was. And then Mod Podge over it. Yeah, I might have to use some, what do you call it? 3-in-1 glue, because that Mod Podge isn't quite thick enough, I think. Maybe I'll just use the art glitter glue. Let's try that. Just stick that down like that. And then, oh, the lady looks like she stayed. No. Okay. Now I will Mod Podge over it. And I think we'll be done then. I'm just going to do the whole page, Mod Podge the whole page, and see how that works. I just got to be careful because I didn't let that glue dry. But that's okay. We'll get it. Let's move her back up. And try to get to the edge this time. Should have put my cardboard back in, but so I don't Mod Podge to the back page, but moving some of that glue around. I watch Artie Mays on YouTube, and she makes mixed media look so easy, but I find it to be very challenging, which is good. It gets me out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to wipe that off, hopefully let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to take a black marker and go over the words. But there she is. She looks pretty good, I think. And it's a contradiction in the picture, if you can't see, because the lady is so soft and the wall is brick. So I hope you got that. That was my intention. Sometimes, play on words is good. Because she is soft, but she's in an environment that's harsh. Okay, so I'm going to do the black border off camera all the way around her. And then I'm also going to, I want to get this one edge down. And then I'll go around the lady, and then we'll be done. So I hope you enjoyed today's Mixed Media Monday. I hope you try some different ideas and things when you're playing with mixed media. Or if you have never tried, just get your paints out and play. Again, it's not about what process you do. It's about enjoying creating, being a little more free-spirited, not worrying about your outcome, all of those things. So thanks again for watching, and please stop by again if you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button down below, leave a comment if you'd like, and we will see you on Wednesday. Thanks so much. Bye now.